One of the great things about trading and investing is that theoretically, and with the help of modern technology like phones and tablets and laptops, we can do this from anywhere, be that here in the office or, for example, here at the lake. But just because we can do this from anywhere, theoretically, does not mean that we should do it from anywhere. For example, just because we've had a very bullish market for 15 years straight, doesn't mean that always can be this easy. And someone has done this for 26 years now. I can tell you, when things get more difficult and more volatile and true analysis is needed, it's going to be very important that we stay focused and we risk manage. And for that, in my view, we need an office, a quiet office, an actual setup like this. Now, it doesn't have to be all these screens that I have here, but it does mean that there is, I think, an important consideration to be made that if one is truly in the business of managing his or her own money, rather than just maybe doing a couple of trades on an app every once in a while, a physical office like this, very important to consider. Let's get back outside. Theoretically, I could work here on this park bench, but again, I think problem with the park bench is that I'm very limited, A, in my desktop real estate, and number two, really in my level of concentration. So let's break it down. Now, again, I think there's a lot of reasons to do work outside on a laptop, and I'll give you my sort of daily schedule. So I try to do as much as I can in terms of work, preparation, phone calls, conference calls with other investors or with our clients. I try to do that as much as I can outside. I might walk around, I might go to a restaurant, but there is a lot of stuff that as a professional investor, and even someone who may not be professional but is taking care of their portfolio full time, there is a lot of reason to do that inside of an office, inside of your actual workspace where it's quiet, you have privacy, you can focus. And again, when markets get more challenging, you're going to need more desktop real estate. And I think that is something that right now, when I see people talk about the freedom of doing this from anywhere, I see where people trade and how they approach it. And to a large part, if they're successful, it's been more a function of markets going higher, meaning it's not that hard to, even if you were to not be concentrated, maybe make a mistake, then be basically bailed out by a rising market. When the markets turn into a real cycle and become more cyclical, the forgiveness, the room for error is much smaller. And that's where I think, we're going to start to see this over the coming years, that a lot of people have to be way more focused on taking a full cycle approach to trading and investing, and not just say, okay, here's a stock, I got an alert, I'm going to buy it, I'm going to buy an option and call it a day. And finally, there's another aspect. Again, and this is largely due to the rising bull market. If you really think about it, we've had a 15-year raging bull market, and I keep mentioning this. I think a lot of this trading and investing has turned into a lifestyle exercise for people, and that ultimately can have pretty bad consequences when you think about this more as a lifestyle as opposed to a serious business. Again, there's a difference between someone who might just be doing a trade, is working, has other income, and that might be possible to kind of do on a phone and so on and so forth. But if you're really looking to do this full time and take it serious, then I would really encourage everyone to have a more professional setup in addition to the laptop.
If this video helped you, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, you give us a thumbs up like, and if you want to see this approach in action, you will want to join us in our Set the Market morning call, which happens at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, Monday through Thursday. Make sure you join us for that in the link down below. Again, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.